Hey, Cook. Hope you're doing good, dude. Okay, I think this is at where I normally have it. Oh, hey, my bot is actually working on YouTube. It's a Christmas miracle. See how long that lasts for. Okay. Hey, they call me. Okay. Um, I think I'm all set up. I'm just going through everything in my mind. Yeah, I think we're good. The plan for today is to do some more stuff in R. Uh, I wouldn't call it good or bad. Just kind of a normal day. Nothing too special happened. How about you? The plan for today is I want to have some sort of project to show using R. And the project that I am doing is looking for basically disparities in cancer rates based on sex and race. And there's a lot of publicly available data from a database called SEER, which I've pulled data from. I can't show that on stream as far as I know, but the results of the polls I can show. So I have them imported into R, or at least one of them imported into R. Oh my god, why is it so slow? And so this is a Quarto document. I need to like update this and stuff, but it basically just lets you like write text with code like mixed in. Is it loud? I I thought it was a little bit louder than where I normally have it. I uh I couldn't remember the actual number where I keep it at. That might be where I actually keep it at normally. Hopefully that's better, Arad. Let me know. Just did a little. Okay. Yeah, I when I was adjusting the volume, I couldn't remember where I keep it at in my mixer, so I think it's where I normally have it. Better? Okay. So yeah, we have data for 2000 to 2023, broken out by race. These are for overall cancer incidence rates adjusted by age. Can we get a dorm? Well, this is just a regular studio apartment, Dr. Cook. Um, it's not like connected to the university at all. Um, and I wish I had the Twin XL life. I just went for a regular Twin, and I kind of regret it because if I lay on my back, I'm fine because I'm 5'11 and a Twin is 6 feet long. But I usually sleep on my stomach or on my side. And so if I do that, my feet kind of hang off, and the monster is gonna grab them. A TLDR on R? It's not too far away. Well, it's a programming language for data analysis. In some ways, it reminds me of SQL, if you know SQL. It's often there's a lot of overlap with people who know Python and people who know R. I hesitate to actually compare them because the syntax is so different. And R is much more specialized, whereas Python is a lot more general. but you basically write scripts to do data analysis. It's SQL isn't even that good of a comparison either. It's not as painful as SQL. You better not be smoking pot. The RA will catch you. I have like a shitload of pot. Because my sister visited and she bought more pot than she could smoke, and so she gave the extra to me, and it's gonna take me forever to get through it all. Sounds useful. Yeah, it's. I'm learning it because it's kind of in demand for jobs. That's the only reason why I'm really trying to learn it right now. Biologists who can't program want to paste an existing R code other biologists wrote. I guess so. Just vibe code it. Okay, so I've done a bit of this off stream. So if this is for overall like cancer incidence rates, I'm not breaking anything out by types of cancer, but uh, going by sex, males have cancer at a way higher rate than females for some reason. And another interesting kind of features that you can see like this dip right when COVID hits. So this is of course just like for diagnosed cancers. If we can't catch it, we can't like measure it. Um, so yeah, at least in the year 2000, there's a big disparity, but it's kind of narrowed down over time. I think the data stops at 2023, I want to say. You use the cubic formula syntax? That's terrible. Never use the cubic formula. It's not by hand. And then if you break it out by race/origin, Hispanic people and Asian people are kind of steady over this time. American Indian/Alaska Native kind of rises, and then white people and black people, they like change places over time, which is kind of weird. You'd rather just not know the roots? Yeah. If the rational root theorem doesn't get me it, I don't really want it. And even then, I don't really want to do the rational root theorem either in most cases. We went over it in the book. Thought it help you to memorize it? It never helps to memorize the cubic formula. No. If you're ever in a situation where you need to have the cubic formula memorized, you are in the wrong place. You can find one root by hook or crook. The remaining roots just form a quadratic. Yeah. And then the final thing that I've already made is kind of a combination of the two plots above, broken out by both sex and by race. So that's what that looks like. Which for females, it's kind of like they all say the same except for American Indian/Alaska Native, who are on the rise, and then males show a lot more kind of like changes over time. In the number theory book, I could imagine that polynomials come up in number theory. I'm not sure exactly how. Yeah, the COVID dip is really interesting. It's maybe easiest to see on this one up here. And actually, but down here, never mind. I thought there's a group of people who actually somehow did not have a COVID dip, but they all did. Maybe I was thinking of like this little spike here, but that's the year after COVID. So, what's the problem? From when I thought I was reading my abstract algebra, I suppose we study algebraic numbers. Okay. Probability of getting cancer increases with height and volume more generally, just because you'd have more cells. That makes sense, yeah. Hey, Lucas. Um, I don't know. I don't have that refined of data. It probably exists in the Seer database, to be honest, but the way that I pulled the data, I can't easily access that. That is a good thing to note, though. I'm gonna jot that down because my intention is to actually do like a write up explaining each of these and what I'm doing. The primary purpose of this is just to demonstrate that I know something with R. So I'm not too worried if the analysis has flaws as long as I acknowledge the flaws. Um, any good physics books? You don't also have like physics lectures? Like, don't you also have physics lectures online like MIT and other unis? Uh, it depends on the type of physics. Generally anything like I'm a fan of I forget his first name, but Morin, who Dr. Cook actually knows. um, I mean that's true. Maybe not for an introduction. Yeah, I probably trust Dr. Cook more than me. Yeah, actually, yeah. For Lucas, it's gonna be intro physics. Uh, see, I haven't followed any uh sorry, I'm still thinking about more. And I haven't followed any YouTube lectures for physics all the way through. Um, I would just follow like MIT Open Courseware or like Walter Lewin as Dr. Cook recommends. Yeah, Lucas at least knows like single variable calculus. I don't, as far as I know, Lucas hasn't gotten to multivariable yet. Hey, Papadoria. Nothing much with me. How about you? I want to open that up too, just to see how it looks. So oh, I've seen this experiment. I guess I've seen videos of this experiment. I actually no, I think I've actually had a teacher do this in the classroom. He looks cool though. Like this is very like physically motivated. Or like sorry, that's kind of obvious in a physics class, but like I mean like experiments. Lucas, So exactly that, Lucas. When you first learn about calculus, you have just f of x equals something. When you go to multivariable, f of x y, f of x y z, however many extra you're adding on, you do calculus with that now instead. Trust in physics, yeah. Hey, famished, and hey, Zach. Lectures are from the MIT course in 2002. The demos are amazing. Yeah, I kind of want to go through uh go through and see what experiments he does, because just looking at the thumbnails, this looks really interesting. What is this? What's going on in Hooke's law? Why is he sideways? I can't find where he's sideways. Wait. Oh, wait. Oh, he is the pendulum. Okay. You had to say a banana? Yeah. True. Currently at my brother's high school right now, just teaching a group of students some complex analysis. Oh, that sounds super fun, Papadoria. I hope you're in the middle of teaching when you just randomly pull out your phone and start watching my stream. And has it been there for the entire lecture? Oh, yeah, he just has a banana on him. It's taped to him. He looks really fun. He looks like a good teacher. Oh, it just ended. Okay, Papadoria. 95% stuff you've learned a single variable. Yeah, looks that's good enough to start learning physics. I would say if you go up to electricity and magnetism, I think that's way better if you know multivariable calculus. For mechanics though, which is what you normally learn first that we're looking at now, single variable is enough. Damn, you started your physics journey. Hell yeah. Probably gonna take a year to get through it. The textbook. Good luck. Physics is, I mean, mechanics isn't my favorite, but physics in general is really fun. Make sure to have a banana on your person at all times. True. Main problem I'm currently facing with physics is that I'm not sure how math with intuition sounds like. Math with real stuff combined. I like it because of that. Knowing math can help you know physics. But also having common sense about how stuff works in real life can also help you know physics, and that's where mathematicians kind of often fall. But you don't know until you go for it. Dr. Cook agrees. Awesome. $10. My friend has been watching some of Walter Lewin's lectures lately. Never heard any, or never seen any, but heard great things about them. They look awesome. I want to watch these now. Intermediate algebra and physics. What a combo! It's a good combo. You need math to learn physics for sure. Can't stay too long. You have a train to catch in about 3 minutes. If you haven't heard of it, go on Wikipedia, search Conway's base 13 function. The weirdest thing the weirdest thing Paulo Doria has come across has to be really weird. Conway's base 13 function. A mathematical function created by Conway is a counterexample to the converse of the intermediate value theorem. Huh. A function that satisfies a particular intermediate value property on any interval a,b. The function takes every value between f of a and f of b, but is not continuous. Is that what the converse is? I can never keep these words straight. No, there's no negation in a converse. If you have if p then q, the converse is if q then p. So why is this not continu- Oh wait, I guess this okay. It's saying the converse is not true. That's why the word not is here. Because they're making the statement that it is true. That I'm just like the most unimaginable thing. How does one think of that? Oh yeah, we have to read the definition here in a second. I just want to understand like what it's saying first. Conway base 13 function example of a simple to define function. Simple to define. Okay, we'll see if that's true. Takes on every real value in every interval. It is everywhere a surjective function. It is thus discontinuous at every point. Huh. Raymond Licorice. Okay. Every real number x can be, and Lucas, I'll read that in a second. Every real number x can be represented in base 13 in a unique canonical way. Such representations use digits 0 to 9 plus 3 additional symbols, say A, B, C. Well, yeah, sure. We can say this about any base, as far as I know. Or any, like, natural number base. I don't know about weird bases. John H. Conway, I guess. If instead of ABC, we judiciously chose the symbols plus, minus, dot. Some numbers in base 13 have representations that look like well-formed decimals in base 10. For example, this number has base 13 representation of negative 34.128. Most numbers will not be intelligible in this way, right? Conway's base 13 function takes a real number x and considers its base 13 representation as a sequence of symbols. If from some position onward the representation looks like a well-formed number, a well-formed decimal number r, then f of x equals r. Otherwise, f of x equals 0. What? The number x what? Wait, shouldn't x not be a valid thing for f of x then? Shouldn't f of x equal 0? Not this arbitrarily chosen r? I don't know. That is a super weird definition. I've never seen a function defined like that. Okay, let me catch up with what Lucas said. I mean, the main reason I want to learn physics is first because it's quite similar to math, primordially speaking. The second is that I like doing like personal philosophy combined with physics. So we start from what we know and we set up philosophical logical model from which we start deriving things, setting up new theories. I'm not sure how well that aligns with physics in itself. There's definitely a lot of overlap with philosophy and physics. And he probably streams too late in the day for you to watch him, Lucas, but Ivan Neo is the person on Twitch to ask about that. But yeah, and especially if you get into like quantum physics too, that's where people start getting really philosophical. But there's a similar kind of like principled way that you can start from basic assumptions about the world and make bigger and bigger statements or look for contradictions. Philox is just getting home from work. Unfortunately, I had to miss all of Zach's E&M stream. I caught bits and pieces of it. I wasn't watching too closely, though. You only caught the last few minutes. Tragic. Teaching E&M as a summer course. 2 hours a day, 4 days a week, 5 weeks. That's pretty intense, but I guess that could be worse. I believe the surjective not working with continuity is probably because of inverses behave well under injections. Huh. This means, if possible, cut all numbers off from the front until you reach the last symbol that's not a number. Oh. Oh, ha, Echo. I don't know how to read, and you do know how to read. Thank you. Last stream was 25 days ago? Oh, that's not right. I think he's just not posting his VODs or something. I rated him on Saturday. That's true. I'm reading this in my native language, and Echo was not. So I have even less of an excuse. But yeah, I would normally start streaming in like 3 hours from now ish. So it's pretty late for you. Book Life? Hello, hello? Classic math moment saying things in a more complicated way than required. I mean, honestly, Wikipedia is really terrible at explaining things in a clear way, but this one is on me. I just didn't read it right. But yeah, hello. What's the longest time it took you to get a definition or theorem, corollary, prop, lemma? Ooh. I mean, there's probably stuff that I've looked at that's still ongoing that I still don't get. But I'll say, that this is a simple one that took me a full day to understand when I was doing my asymptotic analysis class. You can see this link here is purple because I was I spent a lot of time looking at this this part of the Wikipedia page. That this differential equation is so annoying because it has a million special cases, and I'm trying to find. Oh, right here. Around the point z equals 0, two independent solutions are if c is not a non-positive integer. It took me so long to figure out what c is supposed to be. What they're saying is c is any real number except for 0 and negative integers. So c cannot be 0, -1, -2, -3, but c can be anything else. It could be -1/2, it can be pi, whatever. But that's like the easiest thing to understand that took me a full day to figure out what it was actually saying. They don't, it's not actually just positive. Negative numbers are allowed, just not negative integers. I see stuff like that in my CS course, especially computability all the time. Oh, fair enough. Wikipedia sucks, you can't lie. It is a good resource for a lot of things. Just you should already like be an expert in it though. Seems articles coming with an additional explanation in real words. Yeah, I'm always thankful to the authors who add in that stuff. Game chats, hey, I'm doing good. How about you? If you look up sheaves, it took me about a year to fully understand it. I mean, that's probably quicker than I would understand it. I know I know that sheaves exist in math, and that's as much as I know about them. I don't know whether I like or dislike differential equations. I like them, but I get if you don't like them. If there is a god, it's a differential equation. That's kind of a fun one. I don't know if that's true, but hey Flofy, or Flofold. I'm doing good. How about you? Yeah, Femvox. That would have been perfectly clear to me if they said it like that. I think the first way was correct with the slash. A sheaf is a tool for systematically tracking data such as sets, abelian groups, rings attached to open sets of a topological space and defined locally with regard to them, whatever that means. You understand a sheaf of paper? How much harder can a sheaf of groups really be? True, Flofi. Yeah, I don't understand why the slash became set subtraction. For example, for each open set, the data could be the ring of continuous functions defined on that open set. Such data are well behaved in that they can be restricted to smaller open sets, and also the data assigned to an open set are equivalent to all collections of compatible data assigned to what is this saying? And also the data assigned to an open set are equivalent to all collections of compatible data assigned to collections of smaller open sets covering the original open set. That's too many words. Oh, wait, okay. For your original open set, all of the data can be broken into pieces that are combinations of the pieces from the smaller open sets, I guess. It's almost like a linear combination, or not really. It's like an analytic continuation. I don't know. Then you ask yourself if you actually like math. You hate the minus sign for sets. I don't know. I don't have strong feelings. You never learned sheaves? Me neither. I don't know what part of math they fall under. I guess sheaf theory is what they fall under. You have a question. I'm terrible at stuff like seeing spatial things. Is this bad for physics? Uh, it's definitely not helpful. Or like it is helpful to be good with spatial stuff, but you can get better at it. Like I wouldn't just shut yourself off from trying to learn it if you feel like you're not good at it. It's a contravariant functor from the topology of a space into a target category, satisfying the locality and gluing axioms. What's the problem? Floppy, that I understand you perfectly now. That's what I needed to hear. Thank you. Makes perfect sense. Floppy, you need a PhD. I hereby grant you an honorary Twitch one. Quoting for the mud at me? No, that's funny, Fluffy. Cauchy integral formula is something that people invented, and that others method could be used. For some reason, it does not make sense. It reminds you of some other theorem. IDK what exactly? I don't know what other method you're talking about. The Cauchy integral formula is pretty cool, though. I don't know if there's a good intuition for it, though. I bet there's a really nice physical intuition for the Cauchy integral formula. I don't know what it will be. But the fact that, like, it reminds me of, like, with Gauss's law, with, flux, where if you have a closed curve that's not enclosing a pole, you get 0. And if you do enclose a pole, you get some number. And the same sort of thing is true with Gauss's law and charge. I don't know if there's actually a connection there or not, but it reminds me of that. Going through a book, need more practice? Yeah, practice always helps. You're doing the infinite dimensional space and function analysis, you can't imagine it anyway, that's fair. That's literally it? Okay. Functional programmer meme that goes, and when is just a monoid in a category of endofunctors. What's the problem? If you want intuition for the Cauchy integral formula, first need intuition relationship between poles and homotopies. I don't know what homotopy is. Um, oh, I do have that open. I'm not planning to do that today, Fembox. I just had, yeah, just in case I change my mind, I have that open, but For today, it does need to be an R day, unfortunately. Hopefully it's a more interesting R day though. Because I already have data that's pulled and I'm trying to say something interesting about it. Think of a homotopy class on the complex plane as a rubber band. Okay. Oh, okay, yeah, and you're saying a rubber band because you can, as long as you don't go through a pull, you can stretch it and contract it however you want. It's an oriented curve indexed by one variable up to a continuous deformation of that indexing. Okay, that makes sense. Um, oh, this book here, yeah, it's the Boris guy. I think he's the translator, or maybe he's the author. I don't know. No, the translator is Albert Perry. Yeah, it's Boris guy. No, not HPV. Um, so yeah, this graph talks about cancer incidence for all types of cancer, broken out by sex, so male versus female. Males overall seem to have a much higher rate of cancer, but over the last 23 years, not counting the last few years, which we don't have data for, they've come much closer together. And you can see that kind of dip during 2020 because of COVID. Why would you be sorry to be in Germany? Okay. Oh, okay, okay. Oh yeah, I guess women are, or I should say, females are increasing, but not that quickly. While males have decreased a lot. Uh, Interestingly, for females, if you break it out by race, the females are all kind of steady except for American Indian / Alaska Native, who were on the rise. Males are kind of all over the place by race. What I'm going to do next, or at least what I want to do, is break it out by specific types of cancer next. Ghive, my girlfriend is so smart, she really surprises me. I went golfing and forgot to bring my phone, so I used my friend's phone to call her. She answered, "What's up, honey?" What a smart girl. She knew I was the one on the phone. Hey, Ghive. Smart girl. Line integrals in the complex plane interact with homotopies. Since curves that enclose a pole are not equivalent to ones that don't, you can't leave the pole without breaking the curve, which is not a continuous deformation. You get a different value for the integral around a pole and not around a pole. The integral around not a pole is actually 0. This is Cauchy's theorem. Computing the interaction between integrals and poles enclosed by a homotopy class to recite the foundation for Cauchy's integral formula. So I mean, that says what, Floppy? And like I said, it also says why. I was hoping for like a more physical explanation than that. I guess that's very much like a mathematician's explanation, which is good and important to understand. But I was trying to think of like how would I explain it to like a 5-year-old? That's where my mind was going. Oh, no worries, Fluffy. Good luck with the meeting. Leo. Thank you. Yeah, I'll take your advice and keep learning R. What's the question? It wasn't like much of a question, but it was like how would you explain Cauchy's integral formula to a 5-year-old? That's what I was trying to go for. Flippy was giving like a good explanation, but like a more advanced one than what I was trying to like search for. Um, the EU prolonged chat control until 2028 today after it had been voted against twice. Chat control. Emergency votes. They had to vote on this last day before summer break. I'm presenting more to deny the law. Huh. The unencrypted messages can be read and analyzed by LMs. Oh, okay, yeah, that sucks. Yeah, that's something that lawmakers really need to get on, LLMs and AI in general. If they were to pass the rest of the whole procedure. Okay. Well, I'm so confused why Dr. Cook would say sorry about that. But maybe that's what he meant. You talk about potentials indirectly, because the real thing that matters is that the loop integral around a fully homomorphic function on a domain is 0. Right. Going up/down hills and stuff with awesome trucks and transformers and toys. There you go. Yeah, master surveillance right before right-wing forces. Yeah. Oh wait, maybe the World Cup. Did something happen in the World Cup? I don't even know. Or is Germany still in it? I haven't really been following it. You don't give a damn about it? Me neither. Okay, and Dr. was just making a joke in general then. Okay. Hit out a few weeks ago? Okay, okay. 5-year-olds got all the coolest shit. You never catch them programming in R? True, Leo. That's very true. USA got trunched by Belgium. I haven't heard that trunched. The World Cup just stopped existing. It was great. Hot Wheels are cool game chats. Okay. We're gonna take this line, we're gonna paste it in here, and we're gonna change the file name. Per site. I want to see how this data looks. Shoot, I should have stored it in a variable. Inc rates site. I tried out the for installing NumPy. I already have NumPy installed. Leo, the only reason I'm learning this is because every fucking employer lists R as a desired skill on their job postings. I would not be learning this if it wasn't for that. Okay, so now what? So there's an issue where the data we have includes aggregated categories, which we want to get rid of. But aside from those, what we have is age-adjusted rates for cancer incidents broken out by sex, by race, and by these column names are wrong, by the way. I need to fix these. And by where the cancer is. Because the fucking employers don't know how to program shit, and SARS made people who don't know whether you put your socks or shoes on first. you really don't like our Leo. You too, game chats. Thank you for being here. Femvox, I wish I could turn those off too. I really hate them. I'm tempted to turn, like, I had the power to turn off streaks on my stream, but I wish that I could stop getting notifications about my streaks in other people's chats. Because it's just constant. And I'm tempted to turn off streaks in my chat. I just, I don't know if there's like someone who like really cares about their streak and is maintaining one. And I'll feel bad if I just like shut it off for them. So you have to that incident where Discord's AI flagged images depicting grids as, oh, CSAM, jeez. I didn't hear about that one. More economically competitive. Yeah, wish I could tell. Oh yeah, I already read that. Okay, you know that you've seen 5 streams, even if not in a row, still counts for some reason. You need to know. Ugh. And it, yeah, Leo, like, and Twitch says like, oh, your streak is in danger. You better go watch this person's stream, or else you lose your streak. They do all sorts of things like that. Oh, people are slacking on the first. That's 2 late firsts in a row, Jed. Too many church services start at 11 sharp and end at 12 dull. Okay, there is an issue here where uh these colonies are gonna annoy the crap out of me. There we go. These column names still suck, but they're at least not wrong. $11.01 dole? True, Fembox. When's the last time I used the eggplant emoji and in what context? Ooh, that's a good question, Slim. The last time I can remember using it is in a DayZ streamer's Twitch chat when I was trying to make them uncomfortable, and it worked. Family group chat. Ink rates site. So I want to see unique values of this column here. That's what I want. So do the linear problem you posted on your channel posts. Mod you on YouTube so you can flog your problems in chat easier by linking them. You know what, Leo? If you honestly want mod, I'll mod you. I did just, I used to have the setting on YouTube that you have to be subscribed for 5 minutes before chatting, and I just decided to try turning it off again to see if the degens come back. And having an extra mod on YouTube, I would not mind, actually. You know, I'm just gonna mod you, and if you're just joking, you don't actually want it, I'll take it away again. There you go. You're blue now. Honestly, Jed, YouTube's been pretty well behaved for the last while. And also, you're not obligated to do anything at all. I never want you to feel like you have to do stuff. The curse of blue. Yeah, and like no pressure, Leo. If you ever want to just go back to being a normie, it's all good. Be banning everyone in sight. I honestly I wouldn't even care. I mean, keep Papadoria around. Yeah, Echo. That's why I'm not engaging that conversation too much because I it's like it pisses me off too, and I'm trying to stay in the happy place. It's an aubergine, none of your business. I think you're staying out of my personal affairs. Should never be modded, cannot be trusted. Yeah, Cook, you're a little edgy to be a mod. You're a good VIP though. Try to get more in touch with the youngsters. Need to learn how to use emojis, learn all the terminology they use. Oh, so, Slim, 6'7". Just start saying 6'7" a bunch. One of my mods that I did tell one of my mods to could ban anyone who feels feeling it / bored. It's 6'1"? I'd never heard of 6'1". I am an unk. Slay U8. I haven't heard of U8. We're to chat about that on Saturday. You know, Gen Z slang is so delulu. Main character energy, no cap, you can't lie. It's pretty gas. Still is a great expositor of math. Through a bit of his history of math book. Oh, cool. Okay. Let's see what Leo posted. Leo posted 2 things even. Wait, is this the same thing? I think it's the same thing. Am I dumb? It is. Okay, or did I click on the same thing twice? Is that my problem? No, it's the same link twice. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's what U8 means. I've heard like U8 as like an expression for like getting through something quickly. Mathematics in its History by John Stillwell. Okay. Is what Dr. Cook says to Leo. Very pivotal discovery involves his exercise as a part. Okay. Ate and left no crumbs. You really did that shit. Okay. So for those who don't know Leo, we did just do a collaboration stream on Sunday for Math Monday. And so Leo does stream on YouTube for those who are not familiar. And this is a problem that he posted. Oh yeah, Leo, you can self-promote the shit out of yourself now. You don't even need me to post your link. High school a few years ago, one student said I was well dressed in the following way. Damn, Dr. Cook, you dripping harder than a leaky faucet. Subscribe to Leo lectures. Honestly, I don't even care. It's like self-promote. Like, there's hardly anyone in the YouTube chat anyway, but even if there was, like, you should promote yourself. I don't even care. Drip is like, it means like clothes, basically. Like, your drip is what you're wearing. And so if you're dripping, you have a good outfit. I do know that. You'll make sure there's no one else. You ate a few steps above understanding the assignment. Where Don starts selling sponsorship logos on his stream. Yeah, if Leo puts out merch, I'll be wearing a hat and t-shirt. I'll take down my flag in the background and put up a Leo Lectures post-it note that says like a avatar. Riz from Twitch, yeah, Riz is a good one. Your recently scored an AMI course, Slay Girl, you really ate that. What's a whip? Yeah, whip is a car. That's not a recent one though. Understanding the assignment is more so self-explanatory. It really means you read between the lines or understood what is intended. Yeah, like whip is in the same category as kicks for shoes. Like that one's those have both been around for a while. Okay, I should actually like read the problem. There's an interesting little linear algebra exercise that came up in the discovery of border rank, whatever that is. I would love to hear you use those words, Slim. Let V be the two-dimensional subspace of M sub 2 by 2 C 2 by 2 matrices over complex numbers. Any characteristic zero field works here, consisting matrices of the form A, B, 0A for A, B, and C. Upper triangular matrices with an equal diagonal and a B in the right corner. So wait, M are all the M's of this form, or you're saying that this is a special case that works? But you don't need the zero there or the diagonal thing to be true. Oh wait, V is the subspace of, okay, so M is everything, but V is that subspace. Okay. Hey, Aeneas. I should actually read the problem. I'll chat. Bet. Bet, yeah. Raptor. Quite the struggle. Good thing you chose CPA. Yeah, I mean, I'll probably be struggling with this question too. 2D subspace of these matrices, every basis needs to have an invertible element in any basis. Aeneas, not anus. Or Aeneas Verus. The same times made it by people who have been neglecting their studies. That's an old man thing to say, Fembucks. All these kids. Ghost ride the whip was a trend back when I was in college. You start your car rolling, get outside the car, and walk next to it. Oh, I haven't heard that term for it, but I've heard of that. A lot of idiots predictably lost control of the car, leaving some viral vids, yeah. Okay. Show that every basis of V must contain an invertible matrix. Huh. I feel like I'm making this too simple. Like, I feel like I've already figured it out, but I must be wrong. Big Smith is CPA or CFA as maths. So you dropped maths before high school. Yeah, I've done a bit of accounting, and it's really not math. It's difficult, and it takes a lot of skill to do it, but I wouldn't call it math. So like, for A, not 0, this is always an invertible matrix, right? Because the determinant is never 0. Bonus points if you rediscover border rank from this by finding the 3-slice tensor whose AB flattenings are that space of matrices. I probably will not get those bonus points. I've never done tensor or anything. Then a bit of counting done. Never told me what all the numbers are, so I failed. Yeah, that's my bad, Leo. I think you showed the obvious basis contains an invertible basis. Then any change of basis, SB, S inverse from that will also be invertible because S is. Well, yeah, so we know this matrix is invertible, and we know that these columns are basis vectors. I mean, the rows are too. Or you can just do the canonical ones. Wait. V be the two-dimensional subspace. Wait, our vectors are matrices. Is that what I'm missing? Because I thought the basis vectors were going to look like this. But yeah, we're talking about matrices. Okay. So I don't know if this is even helpful. Oh yeah, no, Dr. Cook. That's why I showed the mixed chats up there. So please, yeah. Upper triangular. Every basis of V must contain an invertible matrix. Okay, then I don't know what to do here. What? Think about this. You show the obvious basis contains an invertible basis. So Cook is saying the obvious basis is the identity matrix. And okay, yeah, that makes sense for why this would be the obvious basis. Because you can certainly, oops, that's a 0. You can certainly form any matrix of this form out of these two matrices. And this is two-dimensional because it has two matrices in it. You're rewriting a matrix with respect to a new basis. That is how you transform it. Notice our vectors here are matrices. So if you're doing 2x2 matrix multiplication with SPS inverse, that is not all of them. So echo its basis of the 2D subspace. Yeah, the full M2x2 is definitely 4-dimensional. But since we can express V like this, it's only 2-dimensional. And so in this obvious basis, the invertible matrix is the identity matrix. You have a base of M2x2 with only non-invertible matrices. This has another little problem. So yeah, where they're both invertible. How would that look? Oh, I know how that would look. It would look like this. Yeah. This is just to get to know the problem better, I think. Let M1, M2 be base for that space without loss of generality. Assume M1 is not invertible. Then AB0B minus alpha M1 is equal to beta M2. Sure. Believe you can prove the left-hand side is invertible. That's a good thing. That seems like a good place to start. Or I guess it's AB0A minus alpha M1 is equal to beta M2. And Slim is saying M1 not invertible. Something special here is going on where every single base of this 2D matrix must have at least one invertible matrix. You can choose an A and B that will make the proof easier. Using debts is a good way to go, even if indirectly. Uh, well, the simplest thing I can think for A would be 0 if we just want to get rid of the non-invertible piece. And I guess if the left... Oh, I mean, that almost feels too simple. But could we just make an argument that if this equality is true, then the left-hand side is always invertible for A not 0, which we are assuming that, I think. So the right-hand side is just a scalar multiple of that. So it must also be invertible. Maybe that idea is bad. Should have thought more. Oh, I mean, it's better than what I've come up with so far. Yeah, I'm glad that you shared that. What if subtraction makes a 0? Well, I'm letting alpha equal 0. So that would imply that the original matrix is 0 also, which we're not considering. I don't know if this proof is or I don't know if this idea is right or not, but um I just let alpha equals 0 in the second line, so I think that shouldn't. I don't know. Needing of an invertible matrix in this problem is exactly what forced the original tensor to be rank 3, even though it is border rank 2. So how border rank was discovered. So I guess border means something about like being nearly rank 3 or nearly rank 2 or something. I think if M1 is not invertible, then its diagonal is 0. Leo likes what Slim is saying. You do like ABBA, Dancing Queen type shit. Slay syntax. Pretty much means within epsilon of rank 2. Okay. I think that works. If M1 is non-invertible... Wait, so... that... Does any basis... Like, I feel like that's... We're making a assumption on how the basis vectors have to look to make an argument like you're making, Slim, I think. Yeah, Dr. Cook, that's not a... Yeah. Any matrix... Any basis matrix must have the same value on the diagonal. Can we make that statement? I think we can. I think so. Academy almost the whole way there. Yeah, Echo. So yeah, so the only way for one of these basis matrices to not be invertible is if it has zeros on the diagonal. Anything else, it becomes invertible. Assume V has a basis M1. Oh yeah, I guess okay. I think I have an idea in my head of what the argument should be. But let me read what Dr. Cook says. Assume B has a basis M1, M2 with neither invertible. Any linear combination will necessarily have all zero diagonal elements and cannot achieve the identity. Yeah, which is in the subspace. Contradicts our initial assumption M1, M2 is a basis. Okay, yeah, that's basically my idea. I would show you no linear independent matrix exists, such that the diagonal has only zeros. Right. Yeah, there can only be, there's only one possible matrix in the basis that's not invertible, and it's this bad boy. Everything else is going to be invertible. And how's I going to say it in my words? Matrices must have the same entries on the diagonal. Um, form zero C only non-invertible case is with C equals 0. Otherwise, the matrix is invertible. Since two basis matrices are required to form the subspace, there must be at least one invertible matrix. That's how I'm thinking about this. You will say, I'm giving up on R, that terrible, terrible language, and that proof also suffices. I do get sad when I miss your stream, Slim. And as Finbox says, we all want more Slim stream. Yeah, I need to type out it for myself too, Dr. Cook. But yeah, it's Slim did seem to get there first. No worries, Echo. The way proof was different, but this works perfectly well. Yeah, I bet there's something fancier that you could do. I can see this being like this what I wrote here being a little bit like caveman-y, which is how I always do math. Attempt to use exactly. I want to see that young people slang. This is a better proof. Oh, I mean, did you use some fancy like theorems, Leo? Wait, so Slim, on you said on Saturday you're gonna be doing number theory with Femvox, or was it a different book? This is better than a proof that uses determinants, which are powerful but tend to obscure underlying ideas in elementary linear algebra. Clear you're an acolyte of Axler. Oh, yeah. Determinants are weird. My first linear algebra class taught them and then dropped them immediately. And then I think Strang's lectures, I don't know if he even talked about them ever. No, he did. It was a similar thing. Like maybe halfway through the course, he proved the formula actually involving permutations. And then I think he dropped them again. One can have something pop and drop with locking in between. Doing some geometry to get to learn some algebra. Ooh, nice, nice. You like determinants, Echo? They are really useful, especially when you get to like Jacobians and stuff. Did I get more love for number theory? You were doing a call with someone, yeah, with Leo Lectures, who's here in the YouTube chat right now. So yeah, Leo does stream over on YouTube, and I wanted to dual stream on Twitch too, but I don't know if that's actually going to happen. I wonder who. If someone gave me to love number theory, that would be an incredible moment. I wouldn't say I love it. Me too, Dr. Cook. YouTube chat has been especially half the time they're also you, but yeah, YouTube chat's been better behaved for a while. Usually YouTube chat is one big waffle stomp. True. Leo's proof was saying there's a basis of two non-invertible matrices that consider a subset of R2 with determinant of these matrices equal to 0, contain two distinct lines. If you look, the real space is exactly one line where determinant equals 0. Okay. Probably set up sometime before the universe implodes, and you won't get used to it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Leo, the main reason I prefer Twitch to YouTube is I just like the community on Twitch so much more. There are some cool people on YouTube, but like on average, people on Twitch tend to be cooler. My linear algebra professor introduced terms as a normalized multilinear alternating form. That sounds terrible. I would probably hate that. Yeah, I was a little bit jealous of your YouTube chat, Leo. You seem like you have some awesome people there. Not sure if you remember, I tried like a year. I do remember that, Slim. I mean, Leo's is a lot like deeper and a lot more in the weeds, so I had to like think a lot harder to like follow it. But I don't know. I like them both. Or at least I like both experiences were good. I wouldn't say like I don't know if either one like moved the needle very much towards loving number theory though. That's when it's good, when YouTube chat is one big waffle stomp. Waffle stomp's the hottest slang. All the kids are saying it. You hate the professor so much, the whole lecture must have been rage bait. He's a very smart guy. He should not. I had a professor like that where he should be. He's a super smart dude. So this was when I was doing my undergrad. He passed the bar exam in both Hawaii and California while being a math PhD. Also. And yeah, he's just clearly a super smart dude when you hear him like talk about math, but he was a terrible teacher. Like he should have been teaching grad students, was my feeling. The worst people are those who explain something with language they know and that other person does not know. Like, what is the... Yeah, that's the number one thing that annoys me in math. I try really hard to figure out what people's backgrounds are, and whenever I explain something to them, I try to, like, customize it to what they know. I think in most circumstances, that is not the way to teach determinants. I agree, though, especially for the first time, how Echo learned it. I don't even know what a normalized multilinear alternating form is. If you're teaching alternating forms, sure, but most times you introduce debt, that is not how. Yeah. Not call out one of my mods who sometimes does this. I mean, I've had people who have like come in here and they started like that, but over time they like learned how to like explain things better. Use it liberally in the workspace. Everyone will think you're young and hip. Waffle stomping. Normalized alternating linear forms is a great way to define determinant. That's how my professor defined it when we learned it. Really? Takes an explanation and thought to grok. It's an elegant definition. I forgot grok is an actual word. We've talked about this. I always think of the AI grok, but no, grok is also a word. One should first towards Leo Dr. Cook says this. Well, one should first probably say something about volumes of parallel pipettes to get intuition for determinants in a proof-based linear algebra class. Probably on a coordinate independent definition. This is the standard way. Gotta build up to it. Funnily enough, that's my linear algebra text with determinant definition may be that. You don't think it should be the first definition one gives. Fair enough. Yeah, good problem, Leo. Not as insane as I thought it'd be. Thankfully. You don't have to normalize anything if you define it right. Ooh, okay. I assume Cook is question marking that last thing that Leo said. Okay, what else doing with R? I want to see the distinct values in this column here. It's probably going to be too long for R to display it, but let's see. Type distinct. Wait, that's not the right column. I want to see the ones in this column. $92? Oh man, we have 102 total sites. You thinking why the professor decided to tell us about dual spaces in the first semester? Oh god, that sounds terrible. My professor for my PDEs class is he's Austrian, but he said he studied in Germany, and he told stories about how his professors were like, I guess like the stereotype there is that the professors were super harsh, and one of his professors handing him like a super difficult PDE textbook, and if he asked the professor a question about like what something meant, the professor would say, "Why don't you get this? Are you stupid?" And like, I don't know. It's like, oh man, I wonder if German professors are just built different. Okay, let's see what Leo's saying. If he is an n-dimensional vector space, oh, this is the linear map stuff. Okay, I don't want to read that. Determines defined as a real map. Start with L and define det L. The professor is also the reason why you skipped abstract algebra last winter. Yeah, that's not the professor to avoid. You say where the identity goes. It's just German PD's professor being competent. You now know about 2 of those. Maybe. So we got to figure out how to filter out these aggregated categories. It's a little bit difficult here because we have 102 rows to deal with. Like, we want to get rid of rows involving all sites, rows involving oral cavity and pharynx, because all of these rows are included in here, I think. Maybe even ones further down. Yeesh. Wait. Okay, fine. I know what I can do. N equals 102. Indeed, you do not need to say that identity goes for this definition. So when defines the determinantal line bundles, it all comes from universal property of wedge forms. Wedge forms. Ooh. I'll also let you two have your linear algebra fight. The other one did Calc 1 last winter and 13% passed the exam. Oh my god. You had to retake Calc 1 last winter. Luckily I passed because of the grading changes following that disaster. That's wild. I mean, okay, this isn't so bad. We could just enumerate what the aggregate categories are, I guess. It's not ideal, but there's probably not a good regex way of doing it. Like, if we can't regex on the word and, for example. I don't think we can. Okay, so I'm not going to show it on stream, but in the background, I'm going to pull up where I pulled this data from, because that's going to list what the aggregate categories are, and I'm just going to manually encode these. I don't think there's a better way of doing it. There shouldn't be that many. I think like 10 or so. Table. Where did I get this from? Site and morphology. Okay. Got it. Let's make a new chunk. Sites ag. Store as a vector. All sites oral cavity and fair inks. Even past Calc 2 and 3, so it completely caught me off guard when I saw that exam. That was gonna be a cakewalk, you got cooked. Wait, you passed Calc 2 and 3 before passing Calc 1? Is that what you're saying? That's kind of interesting that they let you take the later calculuses. Before the, or like Calc 1. Oh, we have a winner. Leo is comes out on top in this nerd fight. Ritual seppuku. What the heck is okay? Rectum and rectosigmoid junction. Did I spell that right? Rectosigmoid? I think I did. Okay. You know if winner or not, the standard professor words definition you do not need to normalize. Once you learn about outer forms, you do not. It really is canonical. Okay. First year are super chill when it comes to that. My functional analysis professor casually recommended a master's course to us for next semester. Interesting. In my experience, universities are normally pretty strict about prerequisites. Intrahepatic bile duct. Intrahepatic. I think I got that right. Any other aggregate categories? Yep, we sure do. Respiratory system. We've got skin excluding basal and squamous. God, okay, there's more aggregated categories than I thought. And these are getting included in the actual... Yeah, I think they are. Why are you going slow? Yeah, they are. Okay. You're ordering food. Anyone want anything? I want pizza. Give me pizza. Now, before you teach me GR, you won't. Studied this construction before in a book by Nakahara. My freshman course, though, we did not really go deep into multilinear algebra. Old Oxford defines it as normalized. Okay. Yeah, I don't know multilinear anything, I don't think. Where was I? Down to the urinary system. Brain and other nervous system. You have pizza too, Femvox? It's a good choice. Endocrine system. Lymphoma. Oh god, we got a lot more of these. Hodgkin lymphoma. Non-Hodgkin lymphoma. I hope I'm spelling all of these right. I think there should be a way to compare the list I'm making here. Like, is there like an intersection? That's what I want, I guess. I want to intersect this list with the actual list in the data and make sure all these actually show up. So I can check for typos. Lymphocytic leukemia. Myeloid and monocytic leukemia. Multilinear is like linear, but more. That checks out. Other leukemia. Oh, hey, that's everything, I think. There's a miscellaneous. I don't know what that's about. Okay, so using everyone's favorite programming language R, how do we check if everything in this list comes up and everything in a category or in a column. Miscellaneous, but maybe also miscellaneous. You know, it's a secret, Leo. I don't think you want to know the answer to that question with miscellaneous. No, I just want to make sure. So I just manually typed out all of these things. I want to make sure I didn't make a typo, and I have a table called inc rates site. I want to make sure everything I just typed out manually here actually shows up in this column, and in like the site recode column here. Had stomach poison the other day, so I get what you're feeling. No, I don't want to replace it. I just want to check for like occurrences. I guess like I want to make sure that like I didn't make like I want to make sure the all sites I typed here I didn't make a typo and that the all sites here is the exact same string. Is what I want. Maybe I could make a new table with them side by side. Oh, yes. Okay. I think, how do we do string comparison? In the stupid language. But is equal to but. True. Okay. That's how we do string comparison. Just do a for loop. Oh, something like that, Leo? No one should... I want to see if my idea works. Wait, how do we... Or wait. R create data frame. You're like a Vietnam War veteran with R? Okay, this is how... That's how we do that. Call comp data.frame data sites equals distinct inc sites rate this. Ooh, we need to worry about the ordering. I think... Oh, no. I need to bring up my freaking R for data science book. Where do we do this? Arrange. Like that. Range. My dad sent me some article we saw about R getting in Word because he hates me, I guess. Unfortunately, Leo, I guess that must be the case. What did I call this? Oh, I need to run this God damn it. Okay, let's save this line of code up here. I'm really not a fan of this notebook type of coding. It's important, but I don't know if the downsides are even worth the upsides. Mathematica did it first? I wouldn't know. Ink cites rate. Am I dumb? Ink rate site, bruh. Also, has our studio open? Okay. It's complaining. It's complaining about the data type of this thing, I think. What? Excuse me? Okay. Tibble? No? Really? Is it complaining about the data type of the other thing? Also, oh, wait. I messed that up. I think I need to do that? There we go. Do you have job apps right now you're waiting to hear back from? Yes and yes. And I've only applied to 3 places so far. I think. Yeah, 3. I hesitate to like get out a bunch of applications because I really want to be able to put R on my resume. And so this project here is what will let me do that. There's a lot more that I want to do with, or like this isn't even exactly what I should be doing with R. But the real thing, working with RNA sequencing data is really difficult and going to be a whole thing to learn. So I'm trying to get something with R in the meantime. Going in safe R as ggplot2 can look nice sometimes. It is aesthetically nice. I do like that. And that we might as well kill it all. The reason to learn R is people do use it. Yeah. Get a friend who half the job was just being the person in the place who knows how to use R. Ugh. Okay, so this statement is fine, I think. Oops, you're not fine. You're anything but fine. How do we, can we not arrange a vector? Arrange a vector. Sort. I'm probably still messing something up with the data types, but that's not, wait. Oh no. What the hell? Wait. What did I mess up here? Oh, right. Okay, yeah. Wait, oh, the thing I'm gonna say is it doesn't even work then. Crap. I was wondering if I was working at the place and someone was like, Leo, you know any art? I'd act like I'd never heard of it. Okay, I think okay. My idea does not work. I've figured out why it doesn't work. I should do what Leo was saying. But in order to do that, I need to figure out how you use for loops in this stupid language. um Hey, not Chris. Evening, evening. Um so this is a page on iteration. I don't see a for loop. Sure. Not Chris. That's fair enough. The moon. I didn't even see the original logo. Just peeking out. All right, that's pretty good. Not Chris. I like that. Just do what Leo says should be everyone's motto. True, Leo the dictator. um. Okay. Well, our for loop. True. Yeah, that's my bad. I don't know what I was saying there. Not Chris. Must have been hallucinating. This is our syntax. That works. Well, wait. I guess we want something like that. Oops, not that. Can I say for x in, what am I saying? In create site $, that print x. Okay, we got a for loop. A very slow for loop. It's a very nice laptop which I bought, and I'm very ooh cool. What did you buy it for? Like for school, for gaming, for what? Or just maybe to treat yourself? The battery. Apart from that, it's very nice. Oh, was it a used laptop? Oh, then why? What's wrong with the? Oh, I guess like the battery life is it just isn't that good then? Um. Why is my brain not braining? School, but also okay. Fair enough. I want to do creates site distinct that arrange that hopefully distinct sites. Good, that's what I want. Actually, arrange doesn't actually matter. Oh well. I did it. Battery's just bad from itself. That could be 500 euros more just for a good battery. Fair enough, yeah. Enjoy the lighter things in life. Deeper joys will follow. I don't know if I like that fortune. The lighter things in life. That feels a little like superficial. I don't know. Maybe I'm just reading it wrong. Yesterday was a really good fortune. I can't remember what it said though anymore. My favorite part of the World Cup is when there's a goal, everyone cheers, and the referees take a minute to decide if it counts or not arbitrarily. I haven't watched a single second of the World Cup because I just don't care about it. You thought that fortune went hard. Enjoying small things, deep satisfaction. I guess that's what it's saying. That's the better interpretation for it. Like, fortune's unusually nice lately. Yeah. I guess my rigging of the fortunes hasn't been working. Okay. For x in distinct sites, we want to check. There you go, Leo. For my stream at youtube.com/@LeoLectures. Ugh. Oh wait, no. For x in sites ag. If x, I'm just gonna guess that this is the right syntax. I think this is what Leo was saying to do earlier. If x is in distinct sites, print Gucci. Actually, I really care about not. Shoot. And I want to know which one it is. How do we concatenate strings? Actually, okay, wait. Yeah, I should print X. That's much better than not Gucci. Is there, okay, percent, not in percent, I hope? Oh my god. Let's see if that's valid syntax. Nope. Is it one word? Hey! So isn't this bad? I was hoping for nothing to happen to come up here. Apparently it works. If X is not, I mean, I don't know if it's working how I expect though. Yeah. So I think it printed out the entire vector that I manually typed. Which is maybe, if it's working like a regular in, maybe that's not a bad thing, but... What the hell? Why would that print nothing? Lucas, if I may say so, the problem which has been holding me back with physics is that it just nags towards being a subject which compares to others such as biology, very text-heavy. I'm not necessarily against text-heavy subjects. So the problem that very often whenever I have to study such kinds of subjects is that they rely on me understanding what the teacher wants to teach me in his own words, whether or not I can follow his train of thought, which is just not why I be learning such a subject. Very interesting stuff like understanding the universe more. No, you're okay, Lucas. Print a book in a sequence of novellas. So I didn't put salt on it. That's probably the problem, Skirt. I may say so. The problem's been holding me back. That's an interesting thing, Lucas, because like the text is there for a good reason, like including in math textbooks too. It gives you the intuition for like why something should be true. It's of a different nature for physics, but it serves the same purpose. I'd say like for a lot of physics books I've read, it's about the same amount of equations as a math textbook that I can like I calculus differential equations book maybe it's the same about like text to equations like ratio as a physics book in my experience. That's really interesting because I'm the complete opposite. I want the intuition first. You have a problem because you can't read. That is a big problem, Leo. There might be a data type issue. I don't. Yeah, why should that be false? Distinct sites. Does %n not work with strings? You see it as a problem. I don't see the problem because I can't read. R %n with strings. It doesn't. %n is weird with vectors of strings when. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's a great language, really. Regex, it's kind of fun, but not what I need here. Okay. R check if string is in list of strings. Stack Overflow, save me. Oh, that's not what I want. Wait, if this works for this person, I'm gonna be mad. Or maybe that's because it doesn't work with a list, but not a vector? Okay, the thing I'm using is a tibble. I mainly skip the intuition given by others, only look at the steps themselves, and afterwards check how I could give it an interpretation myself, whether or not it matches with the given intuition. I mean, Lucas, you could just try to read a physics textbook like you read a math textbook. Sounds good, Leo. Good luck with the existential dread and meaninglessness. I'll be here soaking in it because of R. Um. Okay, so it looks. I guess the main difference between math and physics, in my mind, is both math and physics. You kind of start from axioms and build things from those axioms. But the axioms that you start with and why you start with them are very different. But I think you could still get behind learning physics if you think about it in that kind of axiomatic way. Maybe that's kind of what you're after. And so I don't. This is very against how I, or it's kind of like, it's like the opposite of how I learn things. But I think you could just kind of flip through the parts of physics textbook you're not interested in, or like skip them. I mean, and like come back to it if you think you need it. TVSR, thank you for the 5 streak. 55555. Um. Do we want grapple? Hmm. What is click team? I don't know if that's what I want. Hmm. Nope. That's not what I want it to do. Also, a strategy I sometimes apply to math. Just go to a deep concepts which my foundations don't even build on yet. Those foundations to answer the bigger question. Yeah, that's fair enough. You have a really unique perspective, I guess, because I feel like I don't usually hear people saying that they prefer to learn the way that that you're saying now. But it seems to be working for you so far. But yeah, I don't know of a resource that would be like perfect for you. I think you got to make the resources work for you. You never liked basic math either. I'm in the same boat. Okay, I I think I'm just gonna pretend like I did this perfectly because I'm getting annoyed at trying to figure out how to do this the right way. um. So, oh, you know what? Okay. How do we filter? I wonder if I actually maybe in the process of filtering my data, I could figure this out. I just have to like push through the boring topics to get to the math parts of physics, like the more interesting part for you. Yeah, for me, that's the boring topics are mechanics, basically. I and that's what you always start off with learning in physics, unfortunately. So if you find yourself not enjoying that, I think you should do what you say and like just kind of push through it. It is really important and it is kind of foundational for the rest of physics, but as long as you can like skate by, as long as you know the important stuff like what is energy, what are Newton's three laws, uh some basic stuff about like rotational movement. Um I cannot remember the name of my freaking variable. Ink rate site. Pipe. Filter. Um Site recode should be in sites ag. What does that get me? Aha! And this is the tibble with 9,900 versus the original ink rates site, which is 45,000. Good, 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 good. Sir Isaac Newton was never elected to any office, so he did not create any laws. Actually, I mean, he was a higher up at what, Oxford University. Actually, no. I think he had a push. Maybe he might have had a position in government. I don't think he was never elected, but I think he was like treasury person at some point or something for the England thing. As accomplished as Noon was a theoretician, he was less effective as a teacher. His classes were almost always empty. Wow. Noon would arrive on time. If the room was empty, he would reduce his lecture time in half from 30 to 15 minutes, talk to the walls, then retreat to his experiments, thus fulfilling his contractual obligations. Noon enjoyed neither teaching nor students. He was only assigned 3 students to tutor, and none were noteworthy. Damn. That's not what I'm here to figure out, though. Royal Mint. Wait, Noon is a member of the Parliament of England for Cambridge University? I don't know what that second part means. His only comments were to complain about a cold drought in the chamber and request that the window be closed. It's a parliament. So wait, is this the actual Parliament of England? Or is this the Parliament of England for Cambridge University? Like, I'm a little unclear on what the sentence actually means. I actually once tried to learn physics before. I started with like what the topic was called. It was like the derivative position x. Oh yeah, that would be called like kinematics. And that's really foundational, and you should definitely understand it. That could be syntax, or I wonder if like Cambridge University itself has something called the Parliament of England. I kind of doubt it, but yeah, like maybe he was appointed by Cambridge to the Parliament. You rebuke students who are frightening locals by claiming that a house was haunted. Oh, the students said the house was haunted. He didn't say the house was haunted. I thought he was saying that. Yeah, okay. The thing that I knew is he was warden of the mint. He probably didn't create any actual laws, but he did work in the government. Wow, Newton convicted people to get them hanged, drawn, and quartered. Wait, all 3 at the same time? I feel like just hanging them is enough. Demon time, yeah. Or is this hanging not... Okay. Fastened by the feet to a hurdle or wooden panel drawn behind... We were then hanged almost to the point of death. Oh, Jesus. Okay. That's not how I... Man, for counterfeiting coins? That's a little harsh. The punishment was only ever applied to men. For reasons of public decency, women convicted of high treason were instead burned at the stake. For public decency, we're going to burn you at the stake instead. Oh my god. Alright. Make sure his ops were done for. Alright, well... This is an educational stream. What can I say? People were so bored back in the day. What remotely inspired this? I mean, that is like how they entertained themselves, I guess, by torturing criminals. Did the music stop? No, it didn't. Oh, he became a knight. Oh, that's yeah, sir. Yeah. Second scientist to be knighted after Francis Bacon. What did he do again? I remember his name. Philosopher. Okay. Mr. Bacon. Sir Bacon. France is Bacon. I mean, I I'm not one to call Francis Bacon a liar, so I think France is Bacon. Death Mask of Newton. Huh. No, that's a person's name. Sir Francis Bacon. First name Francis, last name Bacon. He refused to eat rabbits because they were strangled and avoided black pudding because it was made from blood. He didn't mind hanging, drawing, and quartering people, though. Okay. Motivated by ethical concerns rather than personal taste. In regard, strangling is a cruel method of killing animals. Consuming blood encouraged brutality. Did they find Liouville's approximation theorem a bit sad? Which means we can't have super good approximations. Let's see what that says. Liouville's approximation theorem. Liouville number? Liouville number is a number x with the property that for every positive integer n, there exists a pair of integers p comma q with q greater than 1. Is this the right thing? No? Okay, that's what I thought. We can look at that WordPress thing, I guess. Oh, this looks similar. Bracelet. Welcome in. He's such a sick guy. I'm kind of surprised his name is coming up with a number theory looking thing. I assume it's going to be related to differential equations in some way. He does. There are a lot of Liouville's theorems. Most mispronounced name? That's a good one. What is the most mispronounced name? I don't know if I pronounce it right. That's how I've heard my professor say it, Liouville. People are pretty good about saying Euler correctly. I don't know. Okay, I should actually read the theorem. Let alpha be an algebraic number of degree n greater than or equal to 2. Does that mean it's a root of a quadratic or higher? Is that what it means to be an algebraic number with that degree? There exists some constant c equal to c of alpha. I'm correct? Okay, good. Such that for any p in z, any q in n, the following inequality holds. So alpha is an algebraic number. The difference between an algebraic number and a rational number is at least as big as so that there's a minimum bound between an algebraic number and a rational number. What if alpha is just an integer? Like, what if alpha equals 0, though? Can you have it? Oh, it's greater than or equal to. Okay, and the constant depends on alpha. Okay. So if you start with a rational number, c just equals 0. Or, yeah, something like that. Honestly, I'm not super clear on um what types of numbers different degree polynomials can give you, I guess. You might do a physics learning stream once. Ooh, wait, you're gonna stream, Lucas? Recently been experiencing stream on a different game. Community joining me is often like very much a different type of human. I didn't know you're even interested in streaming. Lucas, I will follow you. And I will try to steer people your way. This is my bio, yes. Yeah, like, if you have, like, the math and physics tag turned on, and you're either in the math category or the science and technology category, I think a lot of our community will probably find you. We tend to just, like, a lot of us, or a lot of people tend to, like, search math in Twitch and see who has the math tag on, so. I don't, you might already be doing that. I haven't looked, but. Yeah, now that thank you for telling me, because I want to help people out who are interested in streaming. If an algebraic number is of degree 2 or higher, it's irrational. Okay, thank you, Syntax. That's what I needed to hear. So alpha will always be irrational, and we could make this work for rational, but it's just kind of trivial. Average of 8 viewers? I mean, that's fantastic. You should procrastinate less, especially with this honors thesis you have to work on. If you do like a co-working type of thing, I could see that. Personally, when I stream, I procrastinate way more because it's just so fun to talk to chat and get sidetracked with what people want to talk about. Like this right here. I'm interested in learning like what this says. I should be working on this R project I've been working on, but I want to see what's up with this theorem. And so, yeah, what we were saying originally about this syntax, you find Liouville's approximation theorem a bit sad. It means we can't have super good approximations. Well, super good rational number approximations. We can still have good approximations, just not of this form. That's actually, so the exact form of this is difficult to find, I'm sure, but it's not surprising to me that there's like a best rational number in some sense to approximate an irrational number. Like, it's probably very hard to find, but like, we have rational number approximations for pi. Well, I think it's an algorithm to keep getting better and better ones. So I'm not sure when that one would be. The people who like usually pop in already know I'm like the math guy. Don't be surprised if I do a math stream anyway. Oh, okay, yeah. And that's the thing you can just get used to, Lucas. Like whenever I stream both the games and math on my channel too, as you know. And it's always kind of funny. Well, like some people come just for the games, people come just for the math, and some people will come for either. But people will like filter themselves out. Paranoid Polaroid, great name. Why is there no space filling curve for the volume, not the surface of a sphere? A space filling curve. I don't know what that is. Maybe I can Google that. As a human, I can't do better than rational numbers in any application. Well, wait, I'm thinking of things like continued fractions or Taylor series. I guess those do ultimately give you just a rational number, though. I don't know. But when I said that originally, that's what I was thinking of. That like the algorithms we have to approximate pi aren't necessarily simply expressed as just a single rational number. But I guess even with like continued fractions, you do ultimately cut it off after some point, and that becomes a rational number. So maybe that's not a good thing to think about. I don't know. Hilbert curve? I don't think so. I'll start by Googling space filling curve. Okay, so that does have a Wikipedia page. Let's see what this says. Apparently I've looked at this before. Curve whose range reaches every point in the higher dimensional region. Typically the unit square. So the unit square, or like whatever box function, is a one-dimensional curve. You could think of it like that fills up, say, a two-dimensional space. So Paranoid, you're saying that you can make a thing like this for the surface of a sphere, but not for the volume of a sphere, which is interesting. Well, this is saying that there are sphere filling curves, unless they're talking about the surface still. I don't know what any of these words mean here, but we can look up Hilbert. Oh, hey, Hilbert curve is right here. Continuous fractal space filling curve. First described by Hilbert, variant space filling curves. Its source dimension is 2. Dimensions the unit square. Praying right now because you need a divine intervention to pass computability theory? Ooh. I'll pray for you too, Echo. Alright, I mean, let's Google this and see what comes up. This is for the surface. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, Paranoid Polaroid. I'm not even seeing people asking this question. It doesn't seem to be asking your question. Yeah. Sorry, I don't think I've ever heard of this before. Or if I have, it's been a long time, so I'm not sure I have anything smart to say about that. Thank you for trying me, though. Trying to get through all the notes today and start solving old exams tomorrow? Okay. When, like, is the final coming up soon? You thought it was... Oh, I mean... No, not as... What type of math does this fall under? Like topology? At mathematical analysis? I can tell you I haven't encountered it. If anyone has encountered it, I would think maybe Zach, e to the 2i pi. I wouldn't bet on it though. Geometry with use in computer science. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, like there's been some, like I saw like Hausdorff dimension get mentioned. That's so weird. Dimension get mentioned. I, the sorry, I never noticed the similarity in how we pronounce dimension and mention, but they're spelled differently, and that's really messing with my mind. And like that's a term that I kind of recognize, but yeah, this isn't something I've encountered naturally. It's cool though. It seems cool. Okay. I think I know what to do for this R problem. There's 22 things in this distinct list. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay. I'm actually, how do you check the length of a vector? I should really oh my, I should just know how to do this stuff. You want to add something to earlier? I'd say they thought they ate that because it sounds funny and is shady. Like they think that they crushed it. Yeah, I like that. Continue reading my number theory, and I started on chapter with continued fractions. Started with let us now apply Euclidean algorithm numbers 6, 7, and 24. 6, 7. It's 67 prime? It probably is, right? It must be. If it's not prime, it's something funky. Oh, yeah, okay, it's going to be prime because Euclidean algorithm with prime numbers is special. Yeah, it is prime. It's kind of unfortunate Wolfram Alpha doesn't have some kind of joke. That's lame. But yeah, Euclidean algorithm on a prime number is cool because you get linear combinations that like can add up to 1 basically if you rearrange it. Linear combinations of like natural, or I guess integers. You hate 6, 7? I just embraced it. I don't really get it, but I think it's funny because it annoys other people. A multidimensional mansion mentioned in man's own mansion. Say that quickly 3 times. It's funny because basically, yeah. There's not even a story behind it as far as I know. People just started saying it. A multidimensional mansion mentioned in a man's own mansion. A multidimensional mansion mentioned in a man's own mansion. A multidimensional mansion mentioned in a man's own mansion. I think I did it. Maybe I messed it up. I don't know. Bracelet might know a little bit about what paranoid Polaroid is asking. Reading a little bit into it, seems like it boils down to a simple problem. I think space filling curves are a map from an interval I to I3. One-dimensional space of curves. Compare this to S2 or S3. We need a homotopy equivalence of differing dimensions. I've heard people say there's a reason, and then I've heard other people say that there's not a reason, or like that's a made up, like it's not true. I don't know. There's been conflicting reports about 6-7. Okay. R check length of vector. Oh, it's just length. Okay. Length. Sites ag. 22. Okay. That's 22. That's 22. I'm calling this good. I don't think I made a typo. That was way too much trouble. Okay, so what am I doing? I need... Oh no, I probably... Okay, so... Can I recover... This is... Oh, I mean, okay, I could have just figured out that line for myself. I forgot to put that line in my thing. The reason is some guys screaming 6-7 during a basketball game, because apparently that's like some player's name. Came viral, others... Okay. I've heard a lot of like different explanations for it. That one's as good as any other, I guess. Okay. Wait. Glimpse ink rates. Oops. Bracelet. I want to get into bioinformatics. This is more of... I guess it's more like a public health thing, or like I wouldn't call this thing that I'm doing right now bioinformatics, as I understand it. The data that I have right now is just disparities in cancer incidence rates by sex and by race. And I'm just looking at like, are males or females, more likely to get a certain type of cancer, or white people and black people, you get it. I am doing this because I want to have something that proves that I can put it on my resume that I know some amount of R. That's the goal for what I'm doing right here. I want to get into bioinformatics and RNA sequencing data as my next thing. I wanted to get directly into it with a project in R, but it was just kind of too big and too difficult for me to figure out. So I'm starting smaller and just learning R first. TCGA project. Let's see what that is. Cancer Genome Atlas Program. Oh, cool. So this looks like it's like a data repository. That's awesome. Yeah, I know of Geo. That's what I was planning to pull data from when the time comes. It's good to know that this exists too, though. Thank you. Geo kind of sucks? Really? What makes you say that? I wouldn't know. I only just heard of the existence of Geo like a few weeks ago. They publish shitty quality data? Oh, interesting. My original plan was to take an academic paper that has geodata available and just kind of replicate whatever figures they make. Thank you for the follow, by the way. So hopefully, if it's a part of an actual academic paper, that would hopefully get around that issue. The one that I tried to replicate though, it just was not working out though. And so that's why I decided to like start smaller. Oh, okay, cool. Oh yeah, I've been bad about it, but there's been a couple of new faces that I've seen in chat today, and whenever I do see someone new, I let them know there's a math niche here on Twitch. It's not just me out there who do streams about math. So I just like to let people know that this like kind of community exists. You guys have studies fudge their methodologies somewhere? I would believe that happens. It's probably hard to make progress if you don't, or it like if it's probably hard to do everything perfectly. I can understand a certain amount of fudging because you can't let perfect be the enemy of good, I guess. I would believe that too much fudging happens though. I wouldn't know, but yeah. Let's take these column names. And you're... Oh, these are in different... Oh, yeah, because I pulled the data with a different order. Okay, I'm glad I checked that. Graph theory / network science. Ian Stuckey, the third person in that list, is currently doing a project on graph theory. It's very much in the realm of like just math though, so not necessarily like network. It won't be directly related to network science, but if you're interested in it in like graph theory for its own sake, Ian Stuckey's the place to go. For like the network science piece, I'm not sure of a good person. Yeah, I don't know if there's a good resource on Twitch for that I know of. Even if you ever run into problems though, you spent like 5 years working on bioinformatics project and now you hate it. Oh no. So yeah, my background is I just graduated with a master's in applied math. And as I've been looking for jobs, I've come across job postings for bioinformatics analyst that seem very appealing to me. And that's why I'm doing this here, because I want to be able to put R on my resume. And once I have this project done, or it's in a state where I can post it, I'm going to put R on my resume, basically. You don't have to say if you don't want, but like, what about it turned you off? Or maybe you already said it with studies fudging their methodology. Look quirky and stuff from Julia as well? Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Oops, gotta run that line. Well, let's just run this entire thing. Okay, nice. We got our columns renamed. Now we got to filter out the aggregate rows. Writing a 3D app on top of iGraph, so lots of graph layouts. Oh, nice. The method development from the academia was not about generating novel methods. Really? I would think they are, but maybe not. Native applications of anything. Ink rates site. We want to filter out. So from, oh shoot, how's I, okay, I need to look at how I was doing this. So there's one issue with our data where our year of diagnosis column is being interpreted as character data because there's these aggregate rows for all the years that include a hyphen. And so that hyphen makes R think this is character data and not numerical data. So I've already figured this out earlier, but I'm going to filter out all the rows in this column that have hyphens, basically, to get rid of those. And that is right here. And we also want this line too. So all these ink rates become ink rate site. I really hate when autofill... I've already typed the thing out and autofill is still there. We have very large graphs, 500k nodes. You got the tool? Oh, hell yeah. Amy is a rush to publish. They slightly improve upon their colleagues' methods, slap on another name. That's fair. Yeah, a lot of a lot of it does seem kind of incremental. I can see that. Okay, so from sex, year diagnosis, race, origin, and we want one more filter now. Oh, wait. Well, that's where the string comparison is failing, isn't it? So what I want to do, I want to say ink, or I I just for a test, we're gonna do a filter for where site percent in percent sites ag. Oops, I don't know how to spell my own variables. Oh, is that working? Oh. Huh. Okay, maybe that does work how I want it to work. So we'll filter out site percent in sites ag. Graduating this fall, don't even know if it's worth applying to a pure math PhD program. Oh, cool. Are graduating with a master's or bachelor's? Bachelor's? Oh, cool, cool. I don't know, like, I think you could do an advanced degree if you want, like a PhD, if you do it for you and not like just because you're doing a PhD doesn't mean you have to be plugged into their system, at least not completely. Like the masters that I just did, I did for me, and I kind of set my own goals for what I want to do during my degree. And if I didn't do that, I would have gone crazy because uh, there's just a lot of really fucking smart people who are my classmates, and comparing myself to them would like not have gone well. Okay, I think we got our data filtered. Utilize graph connectivity features to infer protein-protein interactions. Ooh. I can imagine the edge weights as like being something with I guess like measuring some degree of interactivity. Through those absences, forgot how to take exams. Meanwhile, I was in class with people straight out of high school. Yep. Yeah, I started my master's at 28, and most of the people in my classes were straight out of their bachelors. Not all, but a lot of them. Okay, so just rerun this entire cell. Actually, I want to do it one better. Restart R and run all chunks. Because I don't trust any form of notebook code to behave as I expect it to. So play it safe, restart R. Um, and I'm trying to figure out what the next step is going to be. So what I want to do is create a measure of disparity. We're going to add a column onto this table. And I think I want to measure disparity. Like, we can start with race, I guess. I want to measure it as the race with the highest rate divided by the race with the lowest rate, which is not a perfect measure, but it could be an interesting measure. We got to figure out how to actually program that into R though. Disparities per cancer site. Take the race with the highest rate. The lowest rate. There's almost like there's something more sophisticated you could do to measure disparity here. But I think this is a good start. So if we want to do this, for each site for each year. So I want to see what specific type of cancer has the most like inequities. At least for this measure of inequity. So there's an immediate issue, which is our data is also split up by sex, and for this calculation, we don't want that. No worries, Fembucks. That happens. Thank you for lurking. And so we need to do a pivot. I don't remember how pivot works. We want pivot wider. So okay. Can you keep, I mean, we don't really need multiple columns worth of data. We only need the rates, I guess. So let's inc rates site. Oh, wait, is that even what I want? Yeah, okay. Bit wider. Names from sex. Values from. What's the name of the column? Age adjusted rate. What does that look like? Really? Why are you NA? Oh, stupid mistake. So that's fine. Why is that not? Why is that chopping off the values? You see another double equal being equal? I don't... I think this is right, if that's what you mean. Hmm. Yeah, I'm going off an example from this like textbook on R, and I'm matching how they did it here for pivot wider. That's very weird. Huh. I don't know. I so agree, paranoid. Like, maybe I should call you Polaroid, but I the I like so I've worked a good bit in Python, and my issue with Python is I feel like I have no control over what it's doing, and also no idea. Um, and I feel like R is even worse for that. Like, it just has a mind of its own. I don't know. I do think I want to wrap things up soon anyway, though. So this might be a problem for me of later to tonight, or maybe in tomorrow. I will copy down. I mean, it's not. It's an easy line to figure out again. Um, Python is pure elegance in comparison. It's not R itself, just the ecosystem. Oh, your issues was more with the packages. Yeah, I wouldn't know. I've only just learned this for the first time, so I don't know whether to blame R or like tidyverse or whatever else. Um, yeah, I do think we'll just call it there though. This will eventually end up on my GitHub once I can hopefully. I think I just want a chart or two more based off this idea, and then I'll be happy with this project. Happy enough to post it on my GitHub at least. But yeah, I think that's a good place to call it. So the YouTube stream, I'm just gonna cut off here. So thanks to anyone who's here on YouTube.